Have I got a haul for you? I just went to a library sale and a secondhand bookstore today and got so many books. So let's see what I got. Hi, I'm Lena. I'm a mom of 4 kids. I homeschool 3 of them who are old enough to be in school, and I have my little toddler running around being my little helper. I really enjoy stocking our house full of books and finding things to encourage my kids to read that are maybe outside of their comfort zone, their natural choices. So today I went to my very first library sale. I have heard about library sales. I've heard that they're really good places to find books, and that it's always like super cheap, but I've never found one and gotten to go to one. So today I finally had the opportunity to go, and they were not lying. I found tons of books and they were so cheap, and to make it even better, I was supposed to go yesterday. I ended up going today. Everything was really picked over because it was not quite the last day. Tomorrow's the last day, but it was really picked over, and I was a little worried I wouldn't find anything, but I did. I was a little worried. I was like, picked up all these books. I had no idea how much anything cost. Turns out the most expensive book there was $2, and today was half off. I got so many books. Then on the way home, I stopped by the secondhand bookstore because I was specifically looking for a few more leveled readers for my kindergartner and a specific book for my 6th grader, and I did manage to find them there. So that means I got some more. But funny thing, I got not even a quarter. I got about a 1/5 of the amount of books from the used bookstore as the library sale, but I spent the same amount at both of them. So the library sale is totally worth it. And I think there should be another one coming up here soon. My husband's not going to be excited to hear about that. But if there is, I will definitely be there. So let's see what I got. First, I'm going to start with the books that I specifically got for schooling in mind. None of them really fit into our specific curriculum right now, but I have thoughts as to where I'm going to use them. So the first book I got is called 100 Amazing First Prize Science Fair Projects. And I kind of shy away from science projects at home so far. This is only my 2nd year of homeschooling, so I'm still getting my feet wet, and I'm not quite ready to tackle that beast yet. So most of the science subjects we've chosen are things that don't necessarily need a lot of experiments. Currently we are doing ecosystems, so that encourages you to take walks in nature and observe the world around you. That I can handle. I'm not quite prepared for an actual sit down do a project. We did do a couple last year because we did meteorology, and so we did some things to show wind and air pressure, but we didn't do a lot. So I saw this and I thought, well, let me look inside. My favorite part is most of the projects in here use household items. That doesn't mean I necessarily have them at home, but they are easy to find and they are cheap. So this one says you'll need a little bit of different kinds of stone and it specifically says they're all available in gardening stores. Some white vinegar, some drinking glasses, tape, and marker for labeling. And that is all you need to do that whole project. And I thought, I can do that. I can do that once a month. So my goal is now, once a month, we're going to pull this out and we're going to do a science experiment. And it's going to have nothing to do with our current science curriculum. We're just going to do it, and we're going to start learning the scientific process. We will discuss a hypothesis and a conclusion and the procedure along the way. We're not necessarily going to write it all out, but we're going to discuss what it is. And I think that will be a good way to introduce this into our home. The next one I found is a really dated book, but I think it'll come in handy at different times. It's called The Look It Up Book of Presidents. It only goes up to Clinton, so it's missing 4 presidents in here. But it still is a really good reference. So for example, we turn in here, we find Martin Van Buren, that he's the 8th president. Was his presidency. This has to have been his presidency. His presidency, his life, like where he was born and where he died. And then it gives us just these 2 pages on who he was, how he ended up the president, what he did as the president. Some of them are a little longer. For example, Abraham Lincoln's is a little longer because he did a few more notable things as the president. But even that is not unimaginably long. It was only 6 pages, and that included the pictures. So I think this will be really handy as we do discuss presidents. I'm considering having my kids at some point later in the year memorize the presidents. That this could be just a good way to pull out some facts and let them know who these men were. Okay, I found this. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this. I really don't. This is for grades 3 and 4. I do have a 3rd grader. This is Read and Understand Tall Tales by Evan Moore. So it gives us 22 stories. Like this is Pecos Bill and the Twister. And then it gives us some activities to do, some questions to answer, a little vocabulary to go over. And I don't know what I'm going to do with this because we're not doing any specific tall tales. But I actually really loved tall tales. I love tall tales and myths and things like that. Things that I inherently know aren't true. I absolutely love those stories. Folk tales, like things like that. And so I think this could be really fun to do with my 3rd grader and to do it together. I don't know when. Maybe on Fridays, him and I will sit down and do it. I think my kindergartner would enjoy listening to the stories. It just gives us the stories, first of all. I don't have these stories anywhere. And then it just gives us a little bit to do so that he can work on his reading comprehension a little bit. So, yeah. I'm excited about that. Weirdly, I don't know why. And then, in the same vein, I also found the Macmillan book of Greek gods and heroes. So this is really just a compilation of stories from Greek mythology. But they aren't just your normal stories. Some of them are ones that I've heard, but some of them I haven't heard. And my oldest son and I both absolutely love Percy Jackson and all the books about Percy Jackson. And with my 6th grader, my 3rd grader, and sometimes my kindergartner, we've been listening to them on audiobooks. So my 3rd grader is kind of getting into it too. And we're not studying Greek history right now, but I think that my 6th grader will enjoy reading some of the stories from here. I will enjoy reading them, actually. I kind of got this for me because, like I said, I have always loved Greek mythology. I remember doing a report on Greek mythology when I was in 6th grade and I just really remember going through all the gods and goddesses, and I just really loved them. I know it's not true. Okay? My kids know it's not true. But the stories are really fun, and it's really fun to imagine the Greek world where they really did believe all these things. So I got that. It's kind of mostly for me, but I think my kids will like it too. Okay, one of the things I really was looking for was picture books. I need to refresh our picture books. We've had the same ones for a long time. We have a lot, but I feel like we haven't gotten a ton of new ones. Some here and there, but I just really wanted some new picture books to bring some life to that. Along with that, I really wanted some easy readers. I don't have a ton of easy readers for my kindergartner, and he's starting to get to the point that he is starting to be able to read well enough to pick up on some of these books. So I wanted to get him some. So these first ones are books I got. As I looked through, I thought, he can read a decent amount of these books. I may have to help him with some words, but he's excited that I got him books that he can read. So I got I Can Take a Walk. So this is where Little Bear takes his first walk alone. And it's just very simple. And some of this I definitely will have to help him with. Like, he doesn't know the silent B in climb. He doesn't read mountain yet. But a lot of this, he can read this. So he'll enjoy that. I got Bath Time for Biscuit. So while he can't sound out the word biscuit, once he learns that's the dog's name, he'll be able to read it as we go. And again, it's just really simple writing. But he loves stories about little animals. And he loves just having books that he can read himself. So I got, this is from the Just Right leveled readers. So I got him Chicken Little. This is level E. So this is for learning to sound out long vowel sounds, recognizing a number of words by sight, and understanding some phonics rules. So again, just really simple. But looking at this, he can read most of these words. So he will like that. Then the next one from the same series is called Chicken Big. And I think it's pretty much the same story. But this is a level 8, which is sounding out most simple words, recognizing 100+ words by sight. He isn't quite there, but he recognizes a lot. And reads at a steady pace with few stumbles. I do not mind getting my kindergartner books that are maybe a little past him where I have to help him with some of the words. Even looking at these, he can read a lot of them. But I like challenging him because I've noticed that's how he is picking up on sight words. He's doing it very organically. We don't like quiz them a lot. He's just picking them up because I help him recognize them in enough books that it just kind of becomes second nature to him. And then lastly is from the My First Hello Reader. It says preschool to grade 1. It's called A Bad Bad Day. It says it came with flashcards. It doesn't, and I'm not worried about that because I don't use flashcards much with him, but he can read a lot of these words, and the ones he isn't able to read, like the word breakfast, he'll pick up on it quickly. If I teach him break, and then he knows how to read fast, he can put the two together. Oh, I forgot. I do have one more for him. My kindergartner, he loves My Little Pony. So I found Let's Read level 1, which is a little advanced for him, but I gave this to him and he just hugged me and said thank you, and he was so excited. And we were at my brother's house and he just sat down and started wanting to read it right away. So he read the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 pages, and he was able to read most of the words. And he is just so excited, and he's already wanting me to find the next book in the series. I don't think it's really a series, but in his mind it is, because he knows his brothers read series of books, and so I think he likes the idea that maybe he has a series to read. So those are my leveled readers. Now on to the picture books. The first 2 are a little random. This is, well, they're probably all a little random. But this one, even though it is way below his reading level and is a picture book, this is for my 6th grader. This is an inside look at the U.S. Navy SEALs. And so this is just a informational book about them. If you've seen most of my other videos, I mentioned my son was obsessed with World War II. Now it's just obsessed with the military as a whole. And he is currently obsessed with the Navy SEALs. And so this doesn't give a ton of information, but it gives him a little and gives him pictures that he'll look at. Right now he's thinking he wants to join the Navy SEALs. My husband's trying to lower his expectations a little bit. But so I got that for him. This next one I got for my 2-year-old. This is Old Mother Hubbard. and it is a Lift the Flap book. She loves Lift the Flap books, and she will probably rip the flaps off of this, but it was 50 cents, and so I figured for the short time that it will survive, we will, I can pay 50 cents. Okay, I got How to Hide a Butterfly and Other Insects, and this is actually, there's a bunch of them in this series, so I might have to look the others up. This is really fun. So in it, it shows you the butterfly, how it folds up to look like a leaf, and then the next page you have to find the butterfly. Like, that's so interesting. And the same thing with the moth, it shows you how it can turn and look just like the bark of a tree. So it has a whole bunch of animals or bugs that you can do it with. The other books in the series is How to Hide a Polar Bear and Other Mammals, How to Hide an Octopus and Other Sea Creatures, and let me tell you, currently my boys and I are obsessed with octopus, so I'm gonna have to find that one. How to Hide a Crocodile and Other Reptiles, How to Hide a Whippoorwill and Other Birds, and How to Hide a Gray Tree Frog and Other Amphibians. So this one is really fun. I can't wait to do this with my kids. Okay, this just literally just looked like a fun book. This is called Which Horse is William? And it's just a cute story where the little boy is asking his mother how well she knows him, and if he was a different animal, would she recognize him? And he goes through, and it's obvious which one is him, but she explains to him how she would always know him no matter what, because she knows her kids so well. And it just looked like a fun little book. I got this one with both my third grader and my kindergartner mind. It's for my kindergartner, but my third grader will probably steal it and read it. This is Rescue Heroes, Storm of the Century. Rescue Heroes is a TV show that they really like, but they don't always watch it. Anyways, it's about the Transformers, but mostly this will be about the firefighter. I don't think it goes into the... Maybe this isn't the Transformers. Anyways, I'm thinking of a different one. Anyways, Rescue Heroes is about first responders, and this one is specifically about firefighters. So, it's fun. It is a TV show. We have watched it. They enjoy it. I was thinking of a different TV show, but they will really love that book. Okay, I got Can't You Sleep, Little Bear. I immediately thought of my boys, my two middle boys, because they never want to go to sleep. Never. They always stay awake, and they drive me crazy. And this is just cute little story about a bear who can't go to sleep, and he keeps needing all this stuff, and all this stuff changed. And I haven't read it, so I'm sure the end it says, nope, never mind. It doesn't give me a description. Okay, this is The Fish Who Could Wish. I love rhyming books. I think they're so much fun. And so this one, when I opened it up and I saw that it says, like, once when he wished he could go out and ski, it snowed for a week under the sea. So, just all kinds of, it's just a fun little rhyming book. Nothing extra special, just fun. And that's what I wanted, was just some fun books to put in our homeschool. Okay, I got My Name is Alice. I remember reading this one in school, or somewhere, I don't remember where. It's super cute. It just goes through the alphabet, and it says, see, my name is Clara, my husband's name is Claude, we come from Calcutta, and we sell cakes. And then it tells you what the animals are. So you've got a cow and a condor. They all start with the letter. My kindergartner is past learning the letter sounds, but that doesn't mean we can't reinforce them, and with a good, fun book. And this one's just super cute and old, and I liked it. And I have a 2-year-old daughter who's going to be growing up and needing to learn her sounds anyways. This one I used to have, but when I saw it I was like, I don't think I have this anymore. This is the Velveteen Rabbit. This is one of my favorite stories. I love the Velveteen Rabbit. And it actually makes me think of my 6th grader. He has a beloved stuffed animal that he literally sleeps with all the time. And he has had it, we got it before he was born. He's had it his entire life. He still sleeps with it tucked in his arm. He takes it when he goes, like, when we like go to the beach, or if we go like sleep over somewhere, he always takes it with him. And we always talk about how, like, when he gets sick, we have to wash it, and sometimes we joke that we should burn it, like they did all the stuff in the Velveteen Rabbit. Yeah, so I really love this story, and I just love because it makes me think of my son. And so I will read it with him and see if he notices that this is totally like his story. Okay, I got Jack and the Beanstalk. This is a nice hardcover book, and it's just got some really pretty pictures in it. We don't have a ton of like classic stories, so I thought this would be fun to have. Same thing with this next one. This is Once Upon a Princess and a Pea, so this is a modern retelling of The Princess and the Pea. It's got like some funky pictures in it, but fun. This one, okay. One of my favorite books that I read at Christmas time is The Littlest Angel, and this is by the same author. It's called The Littlest Uninvited One, and it looks to be a similar story about a little boy who's an angel. It always makes me cry to think of a little child that's an angel and how they are always feeling lonely and scared. And so I'm excited to read this and see where it takes me, because I absolutely loved The Littlest Angel, and I always read that at Christmas, but I kind of would like one that's maybe not as Christmas themed so that I can read it all the time. Okay, this is a book by Max Lucato, and I love Max Lucato books. They kind of like The Littlest Angel, they always make me cry. They're touching and sweet and beautiful and have such good messages. So I found 2 of them, and I was really excited. I found Just the Way You Are. This one doesn't have the paintings that I love as much, but it's still a pretty book. I don't know this story, but I'm sure it's wonderful. And then I got, this one's for Christmas, I got The Crippled Lamb. I don't know if you've ever read this, but my mom has this book. I love it. It is beautiful and touching, and the illustrations in it are just absolutely gorgeous. I love this book, and I was really excited to have this in my own home. So I will be excited. This is a Christmas story, so I'm excited to have this at Christmas time. Speaking of Christmas stories, I got a couple other Christmas books. I got The 12 Cats of Christmas. I got this with my 3rd grader in mind. He loves cats, and if you see in the background our cats, we have 2. We love cats. I love cats, and he loves cats. He thinks he's a cat half the time. And this is just the story of the 12 days of Christmas, but you know, it says, the 5th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 5 golden cats, 4 Siamese, 3 climbing cats, 2 cats asleep, and a white cat with a red bow. It goes all the way up to 12 days, 12 cats of Christmas. And so that's just for fun. Also, I got this Christmas stories and poems, and so this just is a little collection of different stories. So this is a Christmas ABC. We've got one called Babushka I saw. We've got The Mouse in the Manger. None of them are ones that, you know, stick out to me as like, oh yeah, that's like one that every child should read. Not traditional stories, but still really fun to have and to read. I love to read picture books with my kids at Christmas. So I'm excited to have a couple new ones. We always buy one new one every Christmas. It's a tradition we have. But I also like to refresh them. Some of the ones we have I don't absolutely love, so I'm excited to have some new ones to try. Along the lines of Christmas, I bought A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. I've never read A Christmas Carol. My brother said he reads this every year at Christmas time, and so I thought, maybe I'll read it. I might read it before Christmas because I'm considering maybe we'll read this. We bought The Best Christmas Pageant Ever. We're going to read that at Christmas time. But it's pretty short. I think we'll go through it pretty quickly. In which case, I'm thinking maybe we'll also read A Christmas Carol as a family. I love all the different movies of it. I don't know if I found one that I dislike. There's definitely some I like better than others. Muppet Christmas Carol. Except maybe Mickey's Christmas Carol. That one might be my favorite, actually. I don't know. It's hard to say. Anyways, so I thought we'll give this a try. And now we're into the chapter books. So, this is called Iron Thunder. I have never read this. But Abby is one of my favorite authors. And honestly, I don't know if Abby is a boy or a girl. I've never looked it up. So we're just going to continue saying the name instead of any pronouns. Every book I've read by Abby has been wonderful. The way the story is woven into history is so good. And my 6th grader is actually going to read 2 of his assigned books for the year are going to be by Abby. Looking at this one, and I actually have a couple more, but looking at this one, the reading level is kind of between my boys. It's a little over my 3rd grader's head, but a little below my 6th grader. So my 3rd grader can read this, and so maybe we'll get there, but it is about the Civil War, so I may hold on to it until we do Civil War in history and then use it as his reader then, as it will be a year or 2 in the future. He will have moved up in reading levels. But what it says is, when his father is killed fighting for the Union in the war between the states, 13-year-old Tom Carroll must take a job to support his family. He finds work at a bustling ironworks in his hometown of Brooklyn, New York, where dozens of men are frantically pounding together the strangest ship Tom has ever seen, a ship made of iron. Tom becomes an assistant to the ship's inventor, Captain John Erickson, which makes him a target of Confederate spies who offer him money for information about the ship. Tom finds himself caught between 2 certain dangers, an encounter with murderous spies and a battle at sea in an iron coffin. So it says it's about the battle between the Monitor and the Merrimack, which I don't know much about, so this will be interesting. I will probably definitely read this first. Okay, so these next ones were for my 3rd grader, and he's one I was really looking for books. He is not an avid reader like my 6th grader is, so I'm constantly trying to find books that he connects with. So I bought him the book Ribsy by Beverly Cleary. He hasn't read that yet. I think he will enjoy it because it's about a dog. But I picked up Henry and Ribsy. I'm not sure what order they're supposed to go in, so I'll have to figure that out if this one comes before or after Ribsy. But I think, and looking at the writing, it's pretty on his reading level. It's pretty, like, some good sized wording. Not too many pictures, but there are some in here, so he will like that. So I got him that. Then, okay, so last night he was supposed to read for school. He told me he would do it at bedtime, so I reminded him. He didn't really have anything he was reading at the time. And Fridays he doesn't have to read from his assigned reader. He just has to read whatever he wants. So I said, hey, I've got a few like smaller chapter books downstairs I got for you. Do you want to try one? He said, sure. So I took him an Encyclopedia Brown book. I had one. And I gave it to him. I said, try this. I heard that, boys your age, tend to like these books. So he read it. He read it, the whole thing, in about an hour and a half. Came out to me and said, I want more. I love these books. So I was just going to get him some from the library, and then I went to this library sale and they had a ton of them. Now, for all I know, he's going to read another one and then say, I'm over them. But looking at them, again, the writing looks similar to the Henry and Ribsy. Got a few pictures in here. But if he doesn't love them, they'll work really well as read alouds for me and him and for me and my kindergartner. I think they'll both like them. So I got him 8 Encyclopedia Brown. I grabbed every one that was there. We've got numbers 1, 2, 3. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Nope. Sorry. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, and 13. So let's see. We've got Encyclopedia Brown keeps the peace, tracks them down, the case of the midnight visitor, shows the way, takes the case, Encyclopedia Brown boy detective, that's number 1, the case of the secret pitch, and Encyclopedia Brown gets his man. So, and lastly, for my 6th grader, this is what I specifically went to the bookstore to find, was the 2nd book in the Rangers Apprentice series. We just finished the first one together and he absolutely loved it, and so he really wanted to read the 2nd one. So I figured instead of just getting it from the library, if I could find it used, we'd go ahead and get it. So we got this, so we'll be starting this probably tomorrow. And we're really excited because the first Rangers Apprentice was really good, and this is going to spend more time focusing on Will, who is the Ranger's Apprentice, and his friend Horace, who is apprenticed to become a knight. And they're doing, yeah, they have to do the saving this time. So that's my haul. So if you have a library sale pop up on your radar anywhere near you, I highly suggest going. You know the library has a lot of books, a lot to choose from, and they sell them at a really, really great price. You almost can't say no. I mean, they're basically giving them away. So thanks for listening to my haul, and I hope that you have a great day.